Welcome to Electrify, the video show and podcast for electricians only, with your hosts Paul Abernathy and Jay the Basement King Grunberg. Sit back and enjoy the show. What up, everybody? Welcome to a special stream here for Electrify. My name is Paul Abernathy, your host today, and this presentation we're going to do today is brought to you by Electrical Code Academy, and we'll be explaining the Fast Trax Red system today, which is our residential training program for the National Electrical Code. And I'll be talking about some of the things that are the features and changes that we'll have for that coming up here in 2022. So 2021 out the door, it's over with. As we move into 2022, a lot of things that are changing in the Fast Trax program. A lot of things are changing in Electrical Code Academy, from our hosting platform for videos, which are going to be commercial free type of videos. And it's going to be that platform. A lot of little mini courses that we'll be doing will be introduced here in 2022. And of course, they will be, if you're a member, you'll have access to that. Although you will be able to purchase them individually. If there's a specific something that you want training on, like maybe you want how to size conductors or how to choose the right overcurrent device, or maybe you want an examination of an electrical panel and we explain all of the components in there and what they do. There's a lot of videos that are going to be coming up here in our video library for 2022. So we are extremely, I would like to think 2021 was a relaxing year, because 2022 is going to be full press. If I don't have a freaking heart attack in 2022, something's wrong, because we are going to have so much stuff going on that we're excited about to bring to you. So again, thanks Adam for liking the stream, and all of you out there. I know it's Sunday, and I appreciate you jumping in and following us on a Sunday as I kind of go through the program and give you a little bit of an update as I do that. First things first, if you're not familiar with who I am, my name is Paul Abernathy, and I am the CEO and founder of Electrical Code Academy Incorporated. I've been doing videos and training on the internet since 2004. I've been actually teaching people the National Electrical Codes since all the way back in 1989. So I'm a master electrician in multiple states. And I'm a CEU provider in many states. That would be me coming and doing them in your classroom. But we do have online CEU. If you want to get your license renewed and you want to do it through us, and we can give you the best possible price available for online education. On our website, you'll see a link at the top left that says continuing education. Go check that out, and you can get all of your CEU sitting in your seat. It automatically gets submitted to your state, and everything will be taken care of for you. So if you're interested in that, please check that out for us. Again, we're here to offer a turnkey solution for all of that. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the Fast Trax Red program today. It is a residential wiring program that also embeds code so that you not only learn the practices of residential wiring, because that's important, right? You're out in the field, you're doing the work, you want to learn residential, you're used to just nailing up boxes, pulling cables, stapling, securing, supporting, but do you really know why you do it? And is there a reason why you need to know why you do it? Well, that's what the residential program's doing. It's trying to give you the reason why you do what you do. And Happy New Year to everybody, a great 2022. Michael, I see you as always. I can always count on Michael. He's in the room. Adam, welcome. I think Adam's new to our program. Thank you for joining us. Okay. So I'm going to give you what we talk about in the residential program. There are 33 chapters in the residential program. Each chapter has lessons you have to read, and you'll have illustrations. Okay. And also should mention that over on our website, we also have a detailed course tutorial available for our Fast Trax Black system, which is for exam preparation. and basic learning the NEC at a 30,000 foot view. And then we have a tutorial for our Red program up there as well, which is what we're going to be talking about today. And it kind of shows you all the chapters. It's a little mini course, and you go through it, watch some videos, read the information, and you'll learn what's expected that you should gain from each individual chapter. So check that out. It's a neat little tutorial, and we'll be having many more of those as we move forward in 2022. So a lot of stuff, we're hitting the ground running. All right. So you have 33 specific chapters in the residential program. Now, one of the things that we don't talk about that much is that you also have lab work in the residential program at the very bottom of your program. And we'll see that here shortly. You will see a tab that's called labs. Now, these are interesting because we have different companies who have 10 or 20, 30 or 100 employees. And what they do is they're trying to train and get everybody on the same page. Again, you can be very non-productive if you have crews all doing all kinds of things. So we want things to be compliant. I get it. But we want things to, believe it or not, as a company owner, I want this as an owner, I want this to be repeatable. Now, sometimes the electrician's like, well, if I don't do something a little different, it gets monotonous and I want a little challenge. Well, as an owner, no. I want a repeatable product. So when you learn residential wiring, of course, you can show your own flavor, but you want to learn the basics and you want to get deeper into it. Now, another key component moving on in 2022 is in our residential program, like our other programs in the Fast Trax series, there's going to be a certification element to it. Now, the certification comes from our corporation, again, but a certification is only as good as you participate fully in the program and you learn it. That way we understand and we follow your progress so that we can issue that certification. And how you choose to use that certification is up to you. It is not for use in any CEU credits. Again, I talked to you earlier, we have an option for that. It is designed to give you credential, allow you to show certification for promotions, advancements, raises. Maybe a company requires you to get it in order to get promotions or raises or advancements. Maybe you're owner of a company and you want all of your employees to be certified. And that way there's no excuses when something happens out in the field because they go through a program, they get certified, and we provide their grades to you as the administrator or owner of your company. You know that your people are being trained right. That's the whole concept here of the program. Okay. All right. So let's go on and let me get rid of all this so I can make sure I'm ready to go and you're ready to go. So we're going to go over and we're going to kind of look at the program a little bit, and then I will talk to you about it. Okay. So when you get your console, it'll look similar to this, except for I have some editing features turned on because I like to work out of my course program to show you the different features. But what you'll see is very similar. It'll be in your console. And when you log in, and if you have any trouble logging in or your system, just get with us. We'll do our best to try to help you get it all squared away sometimes. But the fact that we do it through a third party, and when it comes to getting your login information and we share the keys, okay, that you have to remember that sometimes there can be a mess up, but trust me, there's nobody that's quicker to respond than me, and nothing's more frustrating when you purchase something and you can't get answers. Well, you all know that I am tied to everything. So I will get you the answers. I will go out of my way to get you. You are my family. So when you become a student in the Fast Trax Red system, it's residential driven. Hey, Adam, thanks for the response. You're new to the program. Yeah, for the value, I don't know everything that we give and the support we give. I just don't know anything to beat it. And it's exactly the same for this Red program. So I should probably tell who is the Red program for. I probably should say that. I should have probably said that at the beginning. The Red program is designed for anybody that's licensed already, because if you're studying for an exam or you're trying to learn an exam, that's the Black program. That's our base program that teaches you what you need to know to pass an electrical exam, from calculations specific to commercial, residential, and all the little pieces. That's our 30,000 foot view, we should say. And you can most certainly pass your exam at a 30,000 foot view level because we're teaching you what you need to see on an exam and how you can work that in the field. And it's also great for supervisors and things like that who want to keep all their folks in line, but they need that 30,000 foot view. Now, the Fast Trax Red system is for those residential folks who want to go deeper and need a more in-depth understanding of residential room by room by room, system by system by system. That's what this program's all about. And if you're an electrical junkie like me, that's exactly what you're looking for in a program. And so in this program, as you can see, there are some simulators. You know, I'm not a big fan of simulators because they can get wonky, but they're there for you if you want to play with them. And so that alone, many people would pay quite a bit to have all this interactive simulators. I don't mess with them, but that's totally up to you. So don't yell at me if you're into the simulator and it gets all buggy because you don't have enough bandwidth on your computer to work the simulators and all this stuff. They're there as a bonus. Okay, we could turn that off, but we're letting it stay there because some of them are pretty neat. And maybe we'll look at it if we've got time. But again, I'm not a big fan of the simulator stuff. Okay, so let's kind of look and see what we've got here in all of this. So as you can see here, you've got quite a lot of content to go through. There's 33 units in here, covering the gamut. There's also glossary of terms, so important for you to learn terms, terminologies, if you will. We have flashcards that are specific to terminologies that you need to learn in the electrical industry. So they're put together in a flashcard format. It's like 250 plus terminologies that you can scroll through and flip and test your knowledge. Again, you want to be very proficient. Lab work. So here's the lab work. The lab work is interesting because you can download any of these exercises, and they are exercises to do in the field. They'll tell you the material you need. And this is great if you're running a company and you're a supervisor and you've got an apprentice or you got a journeyman. Print this off, give it to them, and maybe they're already doing some work in a unit, like the basement king. He could have his guys could be in a basement, and he could give them one of this and, okay, show me how to do this single pole lighting, and this is the diagram, and draw it out and show me. That way they have a full understanding of what's going on. So you have a lot of little lab work in here. It's pretty interesting. Electrical symbols, it tests you on that. So there's a lot of goodies in here that are just part of the system. So that's your lab work. Blueprints. Now, as you go through the residential program, you're going to hear references to different types of buildings, different types of structures. And they'll talk about different blueprints. Well, no other program out there that I'm aware of give you these blueprints, this ability to go in and look at them and see what's going on. And so here you have, click on that. You can download any of the blueprints, whether it's the first floor electrical, basement electrical, the foundation basement plans. All of these plans are available for you, and you can print them off. So they're all available for you to print off as well. So they're included in the program. The other thing you get is you might already have your license, but you always should be testing your knowledge, right? So to keep you fresh, we have included in this package the electrical practice exams, and we've included, believe it or not, building aspects. So you can start to understand some of what the builders will go through. We are throwing that package in as well. Okay. Talks about every little aspect of it. Concrete, the masonry, carpentry. If you want to get a little bit deeper and you want to start knowing how the systems work and you want to have a better interaction with, say, general contractors, we're throwing that in there. Already going to be in the program. Okay. So that's included as well. No extra charge for that. And you can keep honing your skills. Do have Spanish flashcards if you want in Spanish as well. So let's kind of go back up real quick and dabble and jump into, let's go into here. Let's determine the required number of outlets. So we'll go into this. Now let me show you in the program what you're going to get. Okay, so I kind of give you an idea what you do inside of the Fast Trax Red program. It is slightly different, okay, than you have in our Fast Trax Black program. Slightly different. Same concept, but a little different in how we approach the stacking of the information. Okay, so what we'll do here is, and real quick, I want to make sure, folks, that you actually, because I'm going to do something real quick, because I want to make sure that you folks can also see everything that's in this program. So let me open these up real quick. Hold on here. Bear with me. Okay. So there you go. So I want to give you a little broader view of what's everything in it. Now, for some of you, it might be a little harder to see, but maybe next time I'll do it on a bigger screen. All right. So let's let me get back to what I've got going on here. Okay. So what you see here, over here is your consoles where you can work everything, and we'll talk about this over here shortly. All right, so this is go into the chapter 3. So we're in the chapter 3. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to hit the reading material. Once you finish the reading material, you're going to, what it's going to look like is you'll have these folders, and you'll have the study tools. You have a quiz. Now, you want to make sure, the reason we put the competency review inside the study tab is to force you to go inside of these folders. If you don't go in here, you won't see that you have a review to get done, right? So we want you to make sure immediately after that, you go into this folder, and there's your review. Before we look at a review, so you can see the detail that we require on a review to test your knowledge. And again, that's what you're here for, right? I mean, you already have your license. What this is, the next step is becoming super proficient in residential, or even our green program for commercial, or our blue program for industrial, or even our purple for grounding and bonding. These are, the black system is the 30,000 foot view, but these, like the red for residential, this is the 500 foot view. Very much microscoping in on the program. All right, so let's look at the reading material real quick. Okay, so when you get into your reading material, and I will go on and get us back to the beginning here. But your first thing you'll do is you'll come up and you'll see where you'll have all of the links to jump to anywhere you want within the chapter. Now you see up at the top right, you can print any page you want. So that's another question that people ask about our programs. They go, well, I like books because I like to keep it forever. Well, I've got tons of books that I never open up because the code changes every couple years. Okay, every 3 years we go into a new cycle. So this is real relevant. Now, I will tell you, if you get to the end of your 12 months with this and you want to extend it another 6 months or another year, it's only a fraction of the cost of the program, and we will extend it for you as an extension. So you can keep it going if you want, and it's still the cheapest thing going for the education. However, most people realize that we're going to be moving into new cycles. So they want to move into new cycles. And of course, all of these products are always updated with the latest code changes. Now, I know this because I help author this book. So I know that we will change it and update it and make sure it always has the relevant code changes built into the actual course itself, right? Okay, so that's important too. So here's the program, and you can see down there, you have all these hot links that can take you through any of these little pieces in this unit. I always recommend that you go right to the chapter introduction. Here, you're going to read it and you're going to see, what do I expect to learn in this unit? Well, for example, in this unit, explain the NEC requirements for calculating lighting branch circuit, sizing, and loads. All the nuances of that. You will be amazed at the number of emails and stuff that I get from people asking how to size a branch circuit, how to do this, how to calculate loads. This course does that. It answers all those little questions that you might have always sat back and said, well, I've got my license now. I'm a journeyman electrician, or I'm a master electrician. But it sure would be nice to know why I do what I do. And this might be something you just want to add as a feather in your cap. When you complete our course, you get a certificate, and it'll have a course, your course code on it. And so if anybody ever wants to verify that you are certified through our corporation and you are tracked and verified and we monitor it, we will provide that information, and it will forever be kept in our archives. Okay, you'll get the patches, you'll get the certificate, you can use it on resumes, however you want to do it, or maybe you're just doing it because you want to do it for you. You want to get a better understanding. There's a lot of people out there, believe it or not, that take a hell of a lot of pride in being an electrician. And of course, there's some knuckleheads that could care less. That's up to them. But we usually can see somebody like Jay Grunberg. We can see the people that truly can. Jay's already licensed. He already has all of his certifications. Why does he do what he does? Why does he continue to push forward? Because he always wants to be one step ahead of his employee. He wants to be one step ahead of his competitor. That's why he does it. And he always learns something. Ask Jay about the residential program. He's been through it, okay? So anyway, tells you how to calculate the floor area, determine the minimum number of general purpose lighting brand circuits, explain where the general purpose receptacle outlets and lighting outlets are required in the code. So we'll be digging into things like 210.52 and the spacing requirements and where receptacle outlets go and all that kind of stuff. Now, while I'm here, I might as well explain these features because I am sure people will ask. And so we're here, might as well do it. And what you've got here is the ability for this to read this out to you anywhere in the program. So we call this the Ballistic training feature. You can change the size of the text in case you're using it on a smaller device or your screen or tablet or whatever, because all of these are browser based, by the way. You can use it on any browser you want. I recommend the bigger you can use because if you're getting old like me, your eyes, but you can change the size of the text. You can bookmark, and we'll show you that, how to use the bookmark. But here's the key. You can print any page you want. Paper's cheap. If you want to print out the whole book in each unit, in each graphic or each table or each little form that we provide, print to your heart's content. You have full rights to do that. It's yours. You have access to this for an entire year, 365, 24/7. Okay? And one thing that we have added new is that now on our Wednesday night training sessions, if you're in the red program, the blue program, the green program, and you're going to ask me why I went with colors, because it seemed to make more sense to be able to track colors and change the program so that you're aware of what they are, right? And so you're going to be able to come to our Wednesday night sessions and ask any question in any program that you want, and we will go and address it so that you leave a session getting your answers. Who else does that? Every week, we're going to do that for you. So you always have that support. Okay. All right. So all of that's available there. So anyway, I'll show you the read feature. It might not show up here because I don't know that I have the settings set right, but you left click, you drag over it, and you'll come up with this pop-up. You can highlight it. I'll show you those in a minute, but here's the read feature. If you just want to highlight one sentence and read it to you, you click it, and I'll try to do the mic here.
Explain the NEC registered trademark requirements for calculating lighting branch circuit sizing and loading.
Okay, so I don't know if you heard that or not, but it reads it out loud. I didn't check my settings before I started, so you might not be able to hear that. But it reads it out loud, and if you just want to sit back and listen. Now, if you click this on any of the material, it'll read the entire page for you. Now, remember, it's trying to read it, and you can always change the speed. You can always change the dialect. All you got to go over here is this little read speaker. Click on it. And here you can change the speed of the cadence. And this one, of course, you can change from an Australian to US voice or whatever. Fit your flavor and do it that way. But you had the full control of being able to do that. And that's another example of your console over here. All right, so you move through the course and you have your introduction, a lot of reading. You'll see that in this program, it gives brackets. Now, if you remember in our Fast Trax Black, the Fast Trax Black has what's called chevrons. And every time you see a chevron, you go look it up in the NEC. Well, this course assumes you already are licensed and you're trying to expand your knowledge. So anytime that we make a reference to something, we're going to give you the code reference so that you can go and look it up. If you want to go and see exactly what the code language is, and every good student of the code should do that. So we made it an effort to add those code references in here whenever possible. in order to be able to expand that for you. Now, again, if I wanted all of this to be read to me and I'm just tired of a long day's work, then I can just click this right here and it'll read the entire page to me. And in fact, we call it ballistic training because as it reads it, you'll see it bounce from word to word. You should be reading along as well. So you see it, you hear it, and internally you're reading along inside. And that's the ballistic training. And it just shows that students have a better chance of retaining the information when you do it that way, okay? So all of that's here. Again, if I want to print every page, I go on and click the print it out. If that's what you want. You can go on and print it all out. You move through the course, you'll see voltage. It gives code references. It talks about the voltages, gives an example. All of that we go through the program, calculating the loads. You read that through that material. You go into the next unit. Again, more reading material, and you'll get to calculating floor area, and it tells you that type of scenario, and you keep on going. You'll see down here that it gives illustrations. Okay, it's kind of an overview of what it offers. Again, you can click this right here to expand this view, enlarge it. You can also print it off, right click. You can save the image and then print it off later, okay? Here's the enlarged image over here on the right. And you can't see the whole thing, but it is moves across. Hey, thanks, Schwartzy. I must have default left it on there so you could hear it, so that's a good deal. So here I can scroll over, and it just shows you an example of how to calculate the different pieces of the floor area in case you didn't know how to do that. And you can print this off if you want. All that's printable, all that's available to you in the program, okay? All right, so once you go through the program, if you wanted to read it to you or whatnot, I should show you bookmarks while I'm here, shouldn't I? So let's go into reading. So let's say you get to this page 3-4A and you're tired and you want to walk away and you want to say, okay, well, I want to come back later. So up here, you've got this little bookmark feature. Click on it. Now it's bookmark. So let's say you ended your program and for the day, and then you come back, you can go over here to what's called Study Hub. Click on the Study Hub. And you can go to bookmarks, and the bookmarks will take you to all the bookmarks that you saved, right, in the program. So I made some bookmarks. You can go and bookmarks down here. So you can go to the bookmark, click on it, and you'll see this is where I was at 3-4A. If you click on this, it will take you right back to where you were before. So if I click on that, you'll see on the left that it'll take me right here to where I was, and I can continue my reading, that type of thing. And if you're done, you can unbookmark it and it'll take it out of the bookmarks, and you just keep going and you bookmark it where you left off. So you always know where you left off. Now, let's say you're into something here and you want to highlight it because maybe you don't understand it. Or maybe you want to highlight it because you want to ask the question during a Wednesday night session. So you can left click. Let's just say it was this sentence right here, and left click and drag it over it. And when you let off the mouse, guess what? It'll pop up. And I can click highlight. Now, when I click highlight, that is going to put it over in your study hub under the highlights. Now, let's remember where it's at because I have a bunch of them in here, but it is 3-4A. Now, you know that you will set up yours the way you want, but let's say that while you're also doing this, that you know exactly what you want to ask me. Or you want to know exactly by the time we get to class on Wednesday night, or if you're going to compose an email later, you're like, okay, I don't want to forget what I got to ask Paul based on this sentence. So check this out. Click on it again, and then you can add a note. So click the note feature, and you can say, ask Paul what this sentence means. And then you can go on and say while you're confused, and you click save. Now you notice that it turns orange and it kind of highlights. Right? Now, if you come back during class and you go to the notes, and again, you have all your notes that I recommend you delete these when you're done with them. See how I've just added extra ones? But in this case here, we were in chapter 3, and this is where we were at. If you look over here, see first floor area, here's when I click on it, you'll see where we're at, and you'll go, okay, which one was I at? And let's see here. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back to there we go, floor area. Sorry, got to click on the one you're at. Now, I recommend you delete them if you're not using them because, again, I use them for students. But see how this is highlighted? This is exactly what's highlighted over here. But you notice it has a note attached. And you can write yourself a note so that when you come to class, you go into your console and you go to note, say, oh, Paul, this is what I meant. Or maybe you read your note later offline and you go, okay, this is what I want to ask Paul while it's fresh in my brain, but I don't want to stop my studying. So that's why I made me a note. Then you could come over here. You can left click all this that you highlighted, right? And then you can right click on it and click copy. And then you could actually paste it in an email. Or what we recommend you do is over on the Sparky Hub, if you're in the Fast Trax Red program, go and apply to be a member of the Red Fast Trax program. And in there, you can post this question and we will interact in there. And that is the quickest way to get a response. Trust me, doing it in that forum. And that's why we created the forum, is another way to support you, the student. Look, you got answers with your questions. We want to make sure we provide those answers. So that's why you would do it, okay? Now, I would recommend after it's resolved that you delete them and get rid of them so that it doesn't clutter up your forum. Like right here, for example, if I click this, I can delete all of these if you've already addressed it. These are all things that we've done in other lessons, but you can see how easy it is to delete. You notice it deleted it over here when I deleted it, okay? So anyway, that's kind of what you can do. So that's a powerful feature because it allows you, and I don't know of any other program in the world like this. It allows you to interact with me. And even if there was something of a copycat, you're not getting the interaction with an expert. And in fact, you're getting interaction with a person to help write these documents. So again, I am here for you. And most people know that. Until I'm no longer here, I will always support this because that's what I do. I'm a trainer. I'm not a person who just sells products and marketer. I'm not a marketer. Y'all know this. I'm an educator. I'm an author. I teach code. There are other authors. There's other educators, probably way better than me. But for our program, I teach you what you need to know, and I support it personally. You will always get access to me. Okay. So anyway, let's say you go through all your reading, you kind of learn some of those features. There's some of these things we don't use over here. You can feel free to explore them, but there's some we don't use. If you want to get to the course book, you always just click the book here, and you always have access to the book. You can jump straight to any chapter you want, and this is how you get access to the informative annexes down here. There's a lot of useful formulas. There's a calculation forms that you can print off that teaches you how to do load calculations for resonances. You can keep that in your code book, okay? All that's down here, checklists, all that kind of stuff. But that's how you get access to all these chapters that are still in the program. But the informative annex stuff here, A through H, that's all in the book here, and you can all access it right here inside of your console. And yes, you can print everything you want right here. All right, so now let's talk about what happens after you finish going your reading material. Remember, I said you're going to systematically go through each folder. So the next thing you're going to do is you go down here. Chapter 3 is the review. Now, you don't have to do the overview. Basically, you're going to get that in the course anyway when I show you the overview of what you're going to expect to learn. That you're going to already cover that when you go through the program. So you don't really need to do the overview. That's up to you. But here's the review, chapter review. These are important. This is going to test your knowledge. Now, look. You've already got your license. These are not pass or fails, even though we will grade them and we like to get, and for the certification, you need to be over 70%. But you know what? We want you to learn. That's why you're in this. This is a learning course. This isn't a passing exam program. This is, you already have your license. You want to become more proficient in residential. You want to reduce the learning curve if you're used to doing commercial, or you're a service electrician, or you're an industrial electrician, and you want to get into residential. If you're an electrical inspector, this is a amazing program if you're doing residential inspections. Amazing, okay? If you're a home inspector, this is where you stop having people give you a hard time because you're not a code inspector, but if you go through this Red program and you do residential home inspections, you're going to really start to understand the world that the electrician lives in. And this is great. And I recommend all home inspectors really do this because, again, they take a lot of flack, but this would be the preeminent course to teach you what you need for this. All right, so let's go into the review. Now, the interesting thing about the review, and again, this takes a lot of work on my back end because I have to grade each one of these, and we only do the grading on these once a week, okay? Because really, it's not about the grade. It's for you to keep moving forward. There's a lot of chapters, okay? We will get caught up to your grading. And in fact, the more people that come onto our programs, we're going to have to do more grading and bring on more instructors to help grade. So here you simply will answer the questions. What is the meaning of a calculated load? Now, you might ask yourself, okay, all right, this comes up from time to time. You might say, Willie, these are not CEU courses. They are not. We do have programs for CEU. The reason these aren't CEU is because with CEUs, it's about code updates. And you have to submit them to the state for code updates, changes. We have a program for that. That is over in our CEU, and they are heavily discounted. Okay, they're all online. These aren't designed to give you any CEU credits. These are certification programs through our corporation that you can use to advance your knowledge. They are not CEU driven. Okay, we do have those. And we have CEU courses that are approved for almost every state. And all you got to do is go to our website, electricalcodeacademy.net. Top left, you'll see the CEU, and I can promise you they will be the cheapest going. In fact, in many cases, they even give you discounts off of that through our partnership. Now, I am certified to do CEUs in the classroom in most all states. But because of COVID and because of the inability for me to travel and get around as much anymore, that's why we partnered with CEU Depot. So all of the online, but yes, you can get all of your courses and they're cheap. Here, this is knowledge, and this is about a certification thing. So thank you for asking though, because that is a good question, okay? That is a good question that you're asking. All right, so let's go back and look at it. Okay, so we're gonna require you, but here's a neat thing, you ready? Let's say your brain is getting a little foggy here. You just went through an intensive unit. Guess what? You're in chapter 3, right? See the book? Watch this. I'm going to actually open the book while I'm doing the work here. See how it works over here? I'm going to go to chapter 3 and I get access to all of this. What is the meaning of calculated load? Okay. Calculating loads. All of the information is here. So this is the beautiful thing that we created interaction, and we've turned these features on. For example, so I can go to calculating load, and what it's forcing you to do is, yes, you read the course meaning, you read the information, but we have no problem with you going back into the book. In fact, you can go back into this book. Let me just show you an example. So what is the meaning of calculated load? So you would go over here and reading all this information, and okay, and you can learn the difference between calculated load and connected load, all of those principles that you'll come into. And I just want to show you this before we go back here and show you a cut and paste feature. But see here, talks about inch pounds versus metrics. How many of you didn't know that there's a difference in how you do what's called a hard conversion or a soft conversion? A lot of people don't know. So if you go down here, it says, what is the meaning of calculated loads? Here, a calculated load is a load determined by the values that are required by the NEC for branch circuits, feeders. I see that right there. Now I can go here and let's see here. And then on my computer, I do the, let's see, Control C. And then over here, I can do paste. And look what it does. It puts the answer right here. So again, we don't have a problem. And that's why the ability for us to offer this at the price that we do is the limitations are only the fact if you're one of those out there that don't want to get deeper. Maybe you're happy with your license and you're done and you're like, I ain't learning no more. I'm done. I'm done. That's okay. Not who we're after. And if you thought we're after a money grab, after this presentation, you should see everything that's involved and the ongoing support that I give you personally. I don't know how you could ever say something like that. I don't just sell you a book and say good day. I don't just sell you a course and say good luck. I don't tell you to go to a service desk or a help desk. You come to me. Doesn't matter how long. We have thousands of students. Our programs are doing hundreds of thousands of dollars in teaching people. Yet I don't pass any of that on to anybody else. You got me. you know what? Hate me, love me, diss me, whatever. Find me another educator that does this. Now, I'm not talking about ones that just put some videos on YouTube here and there. I'm talking about somebody that actually has created a system of learning. Go ahead, I'll wait, because they're not out there. They sell you books, they sell you DVDs, they tell you to go to a forum. They won't answer questions for you. I'll answer any question on our program, anything about code that you have. I'm here to answer. You put a price on that, okay? I don't see how you could do it. So anyway, look how easy that was. Now look at this one. What are branch circuits rated? Okay, it says C210.18. So we're going to tell you where to go. But what you could do is you got your book open up. Remember, we're in 3. You can scroll down and you can look through here and try to find your answer. Okay, in here. Again, it's talking about, but I recommend anytime we say see something, that's where you go. Okay, but let's see, if I was to turning branch circuits, you know, I could go here and you see I've got this highlighted from a previous session. You keep on going. And here, we even give you graphics in here, illustrations on how to calculate. Okay. Here, we expect you to go to 210.18, and this is where you can hunt for it, or we would expect you to type out your answer, right? So again, it's very powerful in what you can do here. Okay, but you can go hunting for it in here if you want. It's going to be in chapter 3. You can go to the introduction if you want. We recommend anytime we say see, that's what we're wanting you to do, because we do like when you put things in your own words. That tells us that you understand what the lesson's all about. But you can go hunting down it because it will explain it in the program here, just not the preferred method. Even though I did it for the first one, I'm just wanted to show you that it is available to do it. And all we care about is that you learn, okay? If you want to go hunting for it in here, go for it. It's totally up to you. All right. Okay, let me close this out real quick. So anyway, fill these out, and you can get all your answers that you need in this program. Okay. Here, how is the total lighting load in amperes determined? Again, same way you go in this. If you want to open the book and do this one because it didn't give you a reference to the code, then you go over here in 3, go here, and here is branch circuit for lighting. Determine the minimum number. You go in there and search for your answer. The point is, we want to push you to do what? We want to push you to go in and out of the program. Okay? That's what it's all about. So all the information is here. Okay? Now, if you're asking, I want to print this out and do this later, we recommend that you upload everything, but if you wanted to, you could actually click here and go to the review, and here are the exact questions that are over here. You can print this out, work on your answers offline, and then come back and insert them in here. We would prefer you to do that. That way it's easier for us to read, but this allows you to print anything offline. Look, there's nothing hidden here. Nothing. You get access to everything. Okay? So anyway, so answer these questions, and when you're done, what you're going to do, and for example, if you ever get something that's an illustration that's asking you to do a drawing, and it's obviously hard to do that online, don't worry about it. Again, this is learning. Okay? What you can do is you can click on the image, and you can save the image. You can print the image, draw what you need to draw on it, and then you can come down here, and you can actually upload that document into this review. And then once it's done, you click submit right here, and you will submit it to us, and it'll attach anything that you attach to it, and we'll do the review, and we'll give you feedback. Now, on all of the residential and commercial programs, we actually will give you your grade, and you can go down here to the bottom and look at your grades always on any of our programs under the progress wheel down here on the bottom right. But what you can do is understand that we're going to email you commentary. Personally, I'm going to email you and give you commentary on every question, but I'm going to focus on the ones that you got wrong and tell you to go look at those again, because there's something about it, you just didn't hit it right. Now, don't get offended. If you gave an answer and you think your answer is right, dude, we're here to learn. Don't get offended. I'm trying to give you more information and insight. This is a learning program. You're not doing this to study for an exam. This is to increase your knowledge, and I'm here to help. That's what this is. Reduce the learning curve and make you a better residential electrician. And we're going to do the same thing for our commercial program, the green, same thing for our industrial, same thing for our grounding and bonding, same thing for our yellow track, which is the electrical theory. All of this stuff still applies, and we're going to do it the same way, same approach. So once you finish this review and you submit it, we will grade it and get that information to you. And then once you're done that, make sure you come down here and take the quiz. So you click the quiz. We want you to finish everything in the unit. Once you start the assignment, you'll see here that it'll have 10 questions for you to answer. To estimate the total load for a dwelling, the blank of the dwelling must be calculated. The living, occupied floor area, unoccupied rooms, the excess storage. Okay, well, I need to do what? I need to do the occupied floor area so we can check our answer and see if we're right or wrong. That is correct. Okay. You can check your work, or you can just kind of go through and pick your answers, and then you can submit it for us to grade if you really don't want to know how well you did right away, instantly. But this feature's been turned on because I really like you to see right away what you did. Okay. Another thing that you can do is check this out. Check this feature. And I don't know if this is showing up, but if you highlight over the green, right, and you click it, then you can come up here and see right here will actually take you to where this is in the course material. Check this out. Over here in the book, right here, it walks you through it, calculating the floor area. It's based on the square footage of the floor area. Okay. First floor. Determine the total lighting load for the dwelling. The occupied floor area of the dwelling must be calculated. So that's integrated. When you get it wrong, you still can click on that and it'll take you in the book to where the answer is, or put you in the reading material. What other program does that? It's interlocked and it intertwined, and it keeps you back and forth into the course material. Okay. So again, you can do these one at a time and look at it. When you get it wrong, you'll be able to go up and find out why you got it wrong. Okay. You can save it, come back later, or you can, again, if you want to do them all without checking your work, then you can then submit it and it'll be graded. Okay. So anyway, that's a very powerful feature as well. Now that's inside of this folder. And then you have the quiz that sits out of the folder. And then occasionally you'll have videos. Let me show you what that like. So here's a video, and you click it and you'll see a video inside of it.
Lights.
Now,
Probably the first thing that
you
comes
can't
to a
see the
homeowner's
video
mind when they think
because
of wiring.
it's on.
In this video,
hold on, let me.
we'll cover the
There you
aspects
go.
of planning for lighting,
There
wiring
you go. I
methods,
thought it wouldn't show
switch
up.
control, and their installation.
So anyway, you've got the videos that are embedded in the program that are in here. And here's another tip. For 2022, we're going to be creating mini courses on the different aspects. We're going to do mini video sessions on different aspects here, and we're going to be embedding them throughout the program. So as you go through the course of the year, you're going to see that it is not something that stays static. We are going to be adding things, evolving things, adding things that are only available to you in the Red system. So anyway, it kind of gives you an idea how that flows. So you go through each one. Here's chapter 4, Conductor Sizing. Same concept. You move through it. I'll go back to the introduction. As you see here, you kind of learn what your objectives are in this unit. Here, I've got a highlight. I can remove that highlight. Here, basic wire sizing and loading. Check out the graphics. Okay. Anytime you see this grayed out, that's a direct extraction from the NEC. But we teach you things. The service conductors. What are feeder conductors? What are branch circuit? What's the final overcurrent device? Why are these terminologies important? Because you can't know what a branch circuit is unless you know that it's from the final overcurrent device to the load, or the feeder to the final overcurrent device. So the service comes in from the utility. Feeders would come from generators. Feeders would come from from panels to other remote distribution systems. Okay, all of that stuff will be covered in here. You'll also see it's laden with code references, terminologies, and a lot of material, and extracts. You can print these out, but this is an extract from the National Electrical Code. It's the actual ampacity table. All of the different things, you have different links to go to different areas in the program. You can bookmark it. You can increase the text. You can print out every page in the program. You can print out every graphic, every chart in the program. It's right here. All you got to do is print it out. Okay. And you just simply move through the unit. Wire sizing. Okay. We show you the tables. We give you an explanation. Then we get you and says, don't get confused. And we start to show you different things. Okay. And you have these little samples here. All you got to do is click here. And over on the right, as you can see, you have a fully scrollable table that gives you other additional information that you can easily print out as well. Okay. So that's all there. And again, solid versus stranded, we go into details. So as you can see, the programs aim to really go through all this. Now, Willie, guess what? There is no monthly subscription to this. This is the Fast Trax Red program. Once you purchase it, you have it for a year. For a year. 24/7, 365, you can go in and out of it. And I personally am going to make sure that at the end of that year, if you want to do an extension, I will give you the greatest deal on an extension that will be a fraction of the cost of the program. If you need 6 months more, if you need a year more, we will give that to you. You shouldn't, because basically these are 6-month programs. It should be able to finish in 6 months. And you still keep it for a year. If you want to extend it, that's fine. But once a new code cycle comes out, you're going to be wanting to get the new one, because inside of here, we also update all code references anytime a new cycle comes up. Okay, so this is not a subscription where you're going to be hit every month. Now, we're going to have little mini videos. There will be available only to monthly subscribers and whoever's in that specific Fast Trax program. But some of those little videos may be available for separate purchase. If somebody wanted to, for example, purchase just one unit in the Fast Trax, maybe this one right here, then we can make that available. But you're going to get access to it as the Fast Trax student. You're going to get access to it as a monthly or annual subscriber. And you get access to those videos. Now, the monthly and annual subscribers don't get access to the Fast Trax Red. You got to buy the Fast Trax Red. But they will get access to any videos, the little mini videos that we produce. They will get access to those. Okay, so that's just going to grow the library if you're one of those monthly subscribers that like to have those videos, because they're not going to be shared on YouTube. In fact, they're only going to be in our proprietary system that I've been talking about. Okay, so that's where the videos are going to be. So you're not going to be able to find those videos out on the internet. Again, I'm an educator, and there's tons of people out there giving away stuff on the internet. Again, you can always question the source. We hope you never question what we bring to the table. And if we're wrong on something, I expect you to challenge me. I love a good challenge. Okay. So let's kind of look a little bit more. So anyway, there's your product. There you can print whatever you want to read it to you. Check this out. Now, I could just click this right here. Now, you got to remember that sometimes these electronic ones, they read parentheses and things wrong, but it doesn't matter because you're really reading it, following it. Here's an example of ballistic training. Now, Schwartzy said you could hear it, so I'm going to give it a shot.
Solid and stranded conductors. For residential wiring, sizes 14, 12, and 10 Urban Florence conductors are generally solid when the wiring method is non-metallic sheath cable or armored cable. In a raceway, the preference is to use stranded 10 Urban Florence.
Okay, so it will read it along. That seems like a little
conductors because of their flexibility and ease of handling and pulling.
Okay, so let's do this again here. See if it
Solid
does.
and stranded conductors.
See what happens.
For residential wiring, sizes 14, 12, and 10 Urban Florence conductors are generally solid when the wiring method is non-metallic sheath cable or...
So she gets hung up on the fact that it says AWG. Here's what I recommend. I recommend that you do this. Left click over it or get rid of this stuff. I recommend that you left click over what you want and then use it from here.
In a raceway, the preference is to use stranded 10 Urban Florence conductors because of their flexibility and ease of handling and pulling. NEC 310.3 requires that unless permitted elsewhere in the code, conductors 8 Urban Florence and larger must be stranded where installed in a raceway.
So, again, it's AI technology. It's something trying to replicate a voice. It's not perfect, but you need to read along. You know what you're seeing. but it's something about hearing it, seeing it. It just hammers it home, and it's just a little easier to be able to flow with, right? So left click here. If there's something, let's just say I want to do this one, right? Then I just read text.
The word ampacity is defined in NEC Article 100 and means a maximum current in amperes that a conductor can carry continuously under the conditions of use without exceeding its temperature rating. Footnote. This value depends on the conductor's cross-sectional area, whether the conductor is copper or aluminium, and the type of insulation around the conductor. Ampacity values, also referred to as current carrying capacity, are found in Article 310. The most commonly used conductor ampacities are found in Table 310.16.
Okay, so that's what I recommend because it allows you to stay focused. Again, we don't want to get too lazy. We don't just want to have it read the entire page. Now, sometimes it'll stall up on acronyms because again, it's AI, it's artificial intelligence reading it, or kind of a voiceover. I recommend that you isolate and you read it and you go in pieces. Like I do that, then I'd come down to here, left click, drag over it, and then read text again.
The ampacity values in the tables are valid
and I would read along while it's doing this.
Current carrying conductors
in a raceway or cable, and where the temperature does not exceed 86 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius.
For the conductors.
Okay, so I'm reading along with it. Now, some people choose not to use that feature. That's fine, because I'm a big believer that reading is important. You need to read it to comprehend it, to retain it. And again, we give you code references. I fully expect you to go look those up as you get more familiar with the code. Again, illustrations to kind of show you branch circuit conductors must have an ampacity not less than the maximum load to be served. That's referenced in 210.19a1. Okay, so here's my load to be served. It's 20 amps, so it's a minimum of 20 amp. Okay, it's conductors. Again, code references everywhere. More examples here that you can follow. All of that, and again, you can change the size, bookmark it, print it, do whatever you want to do. Okay. So anyway, and you got some more videos in here. Installation of NM cable, how to remove insulation on an NM. Here's another quiz that you can take. And again, here is your competency reviews. You click on that just to give you an example. In here, you're going to go through the program. Okay. What is the largest size solid conductor generally permitted to be installed in a raceway? Okay. Well, once you get to past a certain size, you're like, okay, well, it's got to be stranded. So if you click it, you're going to click it. And once you're done, you pick your choice. And then you can go and at the end, and here you're going to have to fill out your information. So we're not going to give you a break. You're going to have to fill it out to make sure it's clear. And you can go kind of giving you an ampacity, checking to make sure you understand the ampacity based on the size of conductors. We also give you the tables, so it's going to help you. In this drawing, for example, you can right click and you can save a copy of this illustration. If you need to make any changes to it, draw on it. Then you can always go here and upload it if you want to include it. Again, this is a learning program. All this stuff is here. And then once you're done, you click submit and we will grade your program. Okay. Now, here's the interesting thing again. When I'm in this program, see the largest size solid conductor generally permitted to be installed in a raceway. Okay. Remember what I said? I'm being a little redundant here, but it's because it's important. I can go over to the book and I know that I'm in chapter 4, right? Conductor sizing. And I can go down here and see wire sizing, solid stranded conductors, right? All the information, insulation, dry, everything is here to help answer these questions, right? So you go to basics wire sizing. Now, forcing you to read through this information to find your answer is our way, to be honest with you, of trying to make you continually to learn the info. Okay. Now I can get solid or stranded here. Resonant wiring. For residential wiring, sizes 14, 12, or 10, conductors are generally solid when the wiring method is non-metallic sheet cable or armored cable. In raceways, the preference is to use stranded 10 AWG conductors because of their flexibility. Okay, here requires that unless permitted elsewhere, the conductors of 8 AWG and larger must be stranded where installed in raceways. So when we say generally speaking, unless the code states otherwise, that would be the answer over here. Okay, so the largest size conductor generally permitted to be installed in a raceway is what? solid conductor, that is. And that would be a 10, because remember it said 8 and larger generally is stranded. So you can use the book at any time. And I encourage you to do that as you're going through the program. You can cut and paste answers over here, however you want. The point is, we want to make sure that you engulf yourself in this learning. Remember, we want to make better electricians. Maybe you feel you don't need this. Maybe you feel you don't need the extra education. That's fine. But you're not who we're looking for. Simple. Okay? And O says it sounds better than Siri and Alexa. Yeah, it's not that bad. It actually does a pretty good job, I will admit. Okay? So anyway, I know the screen sometimes is hard for you folks to see, but again, that's the chapter review that you have in a program. So let me get rid of that. So you go through each unit, and it's going to walk you through. Example, lighting branch circuits for bathrooms. Lighting branch circuits. So one of the things I do recommend is go over to our website and go through our tutorial. The tutorial will give you an overview of the red system. It will show you what the objectives are for each chapter and what you're going to learn in each chapter. It goes through some of the features. Some of them are very similar to our Fast Trax Black, but it does go through each one of them and kind of give you an idea. So again, it talks about smoke alarms, heat, carbon monoxide alarms, television, telephone, gives you extra info, most services. Check this out. So if you go into this reading material, and again, you'll be here, you can jump. We talk about non-coincidence loads. We talk load calculations for feeders, 2 different panel feeders. We go into single family calculations, all this type of thing. Existing homes, I'll click on that. And when adding new loads to an existing home, 220.83 provides an optional method. Okay, so we go through that. And we're going to have supplemental mini videos slowly throughout the year that goes along with this, because we want to teach you even more in the program. Okay. Let's see here. So we've got, and they'll be added as videos in the program, but you'll get all this information here. But remember, you always have access to what? The course book. So you can go down here and go to this chapter 27, click on it, and you can get the exact same information down here. And it tells you where you go if you're doing a load calculation for existing. And we're going to support this. And that's the beautiful thing about the plan for 2022 is we're going to support all these little pieces in here slowly with little videos. But at any point you read something and you're like, okay, I still don't get it. Or I'm read it, it tells me where to go, but I just don't understand it. All you got to do is reach out. Or better yet, go to the Sparky Hub and post your question in the specific forum for whatever Fast Trax program you're in. You post your question there, and that's the easiest way to get an answer. And then what happens is everybody learns because it's shared for everybody that joins that forum that is a member of the Fast Trax Red system. Same thing for the green, same thing for the blue. Now, what we didn't talk about is we do have an orange system, which is basically, it's the certification 2-year program that gives you the residential, the commercial, the base black, and it also gives you the industrial blue. But you have an option to substitute one of those, except for the base black. You got to have the base black. It allows you to substitute the grounding and bonding purple or even the yellow course, which is electrical theory, for any one of those. Now, I recommend any of those for a substitute for something like the industrial if you have no plans to go in the industrial. Then it sounds like maybe all you need is the black, the green, the blue, and maybe you're going to do grounding and bonding, so you do the purple. Maybe that's your choice. All of these are certification programs once you're completed, and as long as you maintain an average grade of 70%. So it's a rolling average. Okay, if you do poor on one unit but do really well on another, all you got to do at the end is maintain a 70% average in order to complete the program. And we're here to help you along the way if there's anything you don't understand. Again, not every course can give you everything, okay? But we're going to try over this year to take these courses. That's why we branded them in the series, the color coding. I will be adding personal training videos to each one of these little elements to try to explain little nuances even better. For example, right here, I'm creating a video for 220.83 that explains it even deeper, and it will be embedded in here for you. It's beautiful, isn't it? We're going to be doing this all through 2022 to make the best product ever as we go. Anyway, so there you go. You can print it all. So I guess with that, I don't know what else to show you. Again, the flashcards, I guess I could show you some flashcards in this program. And again, here's your key terms in Spanish. If you're somebody that knows Spanish, I have no idea what that is. But there you go. Accessible wiring. You click it and it tells you capable of being removed and exposed without damage, the building structure or finish, or not permanently closed in by the structure or finish of a building. That's what accessible when it means to the wiring methods. The next card, ALCU, aluminum or copper. Terminal markings on switches and receptacles rated 30 amperes or greater, suitable for use with aluminum, copper, and copper-clad aluminum conductors. If not marked, it's suitable for copper conductors only. Important things to remember about markings and labelings and all that type of thing. So anyway, there's adjustment factors. Again, talks about the tables in 310.15c1. We refer to that as D rating. But again, there's 284 terminologies here. And guess what? You can create your own on anything you want. So maybe the code has these definitions that are not covered here, but you want to do them. You can actually add them here. It's unlimited. Add 1 million of them if you want. They'll be in your program. Okay. All right. So that kind of gives you an idea. And right now, the overall students are averaging a 91%. That is very well. All these other ones you can play with. We really don't utilize them. They're here. They do have functionality for your course, but we don't use them. We use the Study Hub, and the Study Hub, again, lets you find all your notes and highlights and bookmarks and all that stuff that you're waiting to ask or put in an email. They're all right here. You have a glossary, and this is pretty neat because this allows you to jump to different terminologies. Now, this one's in Spanish. We'll probably have to change that to English for me, as I have no idea what the Spanish version is. Then you've got none of these other things that we typically use. We use the book, and you always want to use the book. Change the cadence. Check your grades right here, down here in the progress. And remember, we're going to send via email our commentary on all of your units. Once you complete them, you'll get an email from us. It'll come from paul.abernathy@electrocodecademy.com. Make sure you check your spam or your trash folder because my stuff tends to go there. I don't know why, but it does. No funny comments. But anyway, there you go. All right, so I'll come back to me. And if anybody has any questions about the Fast Trax Red program, I am more than happy to answer them for you. And we'll end this thing up. Again, I appreciate all of your patience in this program and all the changes that we got going on. And again, look for the green program and the purple. There's tons of them that are going to be out, and all of them have their own nuances to them. And so again, I like to think we bring a lot of value to the training. And if you're in any of our programs, you got your email. At the bottom of the email where you have your course activation, remember, you should jump on over to the Sparky Hub, okay, thesparkyhub.com, and register for whatever forum based on the course you're in. Now, if you're already in our Fast Trax program, originally the Legacy, which is now the Black program, make sure you sign up for the Black program, okay? If you're already in the Fast Trax, go on and jump on over and subscribe to the Fast Trax Black program, and we'll approve you. Because that's where we're moving individualized forums to help support our products. And you know what? I monitor them on a daily basis personally. Another thing that we get, okay, and we're going to get ready to block that user for whatever that was that they felt like they needed to post on there. So anyway. And I'll add him to the block list. So Tabitha, you won't be allowed back anymore. All right. So the other interesting thing moving forward is all of our courses are going to be, the new mini courses are going to be accessible from your phone. Now the Fast Trax, you got to go to browser and use a browser. But our mini courses and our mini videos are all going to be available through our app on our phone or the website. So that's a beautiful thing. So that's something we're adding for 2022. And the mini courses, if you've been through our tutorial recently on the Fast Trax Black and the new red one that's up there, that's the kind of portal, that's the thing we're going to be using. So obviously right now we're just sharing a lot of text and graphic and some videos, but that's going to be used for what I call our mini courses. And also any videos that you'll see that are in our Fast Trax programs are going to be from our proprietary hosting system. Okay. So, you know, it's, I don't know. We have a lot of stuff going on, and I sure wish that the Basement King was down here in Texas to help me with all this stuff. Cause again, it's kind of a hands-on thing, but I'm excited. Also, I'll let y'all know that he is actively working on the Kicking It with the King podcast. I heard a sample of it. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be available over on the Electrician Live Broadcast Network. So he's going to tell you, look for that coming out soon. So a lot of things going on. But yeah, that is our Fast Trax Red. And look for another stream to explain the Fast Trax Green coming up soon. And look also for that tutorial coming out soon as well. Right now we have a black and the red system tutorial. We recommend you go look through it. If you're interested in these courses, go check it out. But if I haven't answered any of your questions yet, then I'm going to put in the chat my email address, my personal email address, and you can send me any questions you may have. Give me a second. And I am more than happy to answer any questions that you might have in our program. So as a summary, we do not offer continuing education for these programs. These are learning programs, okay? They're not designed for CEUs. CEUs are just for code changes, right? It has to have an element of code change to it. We have that feature. Go to our website up at the very top. In fact, I'll put the URL if you're looking for continuing education courses. I'll give you that. So it's for those that do need to get their CEUs. We have a link to that if you want to get your CEU credits. And we guarantee you they'll be the lowest price you can find online, and you can get them from the comfort of your own home. Okay. So however you want to do them. These Fast Trax programs are learning programs. Okay. That's the key. Okay. So anybody got any questions for me before I give you back your Sunday? And me and Jay, I will let you know, me and Jay are going to be doing, I guess it's the 6th installment of the residential series, commentary series later on today. So you might see another live stream notice come up. But me and Jay will be going live, going into part 6 of our residential electrician in his next stage. And I think now he's going to start doing the branch circuits and stuff inside. And we'll be watching him with a watchful eye to make sure that he's compliant. And if there's any additional tidbits that we can give that will help you become an even better electrician along the way. But I'm excited about what we've got coming in 2022. Hopefully you are too. I know I'm a code junkie, but we're going to be doing a lot of little unique videos, little mini courses. And again, it's going to be adding it to the Fast Trax family. And all of these little videos are going to have some element that has to do with their specific Fast Trax program as well as code. And so I'm excited about it. Okay. So anybody got any questions about the Fast Trax Red program? Or if you have any questions about the Fast Trax blue or green or orange or purple or yellow, and you're like, tell me a little bit more about each one of those, here's the time to ask. Otherwise, I'll give you folks back to your Sunday. And again, hope everybody had a wonderful new year. And everybody should feel blessed that we are here. We do want to say that it's a sad news, the passing of Betty White. She is amazing. But she had the most amazing outlook on life. her concept of, they asked her, was she scared of dying? And her response to that was, no, she wasn't scared of dying because we don't know what's on the other side. So it's like, once you get there, the mystery's solved. And she's like, okay, I'll know the answer. And what a wonderful way to approach it, because we're all going to die. But it was sad to see that she passed. But again, 2021, we lost a lot of people. So a lot of family members, a lot of people passed away. So we're in 2022. We're going to start a new year and that type of thing. So, all right. At this point, remember, this is how it goes. If you're studying for an electrical exam, right, then you want to go with the Fast Trax Black. If you're passing on to that, and the next thing would be the Fast Trax Red if you want to do residential, Fast Trax Green if you want to do commercial, Fast Trax Blue if you're getting into industrial. These are the certification programs. If you want to get into grounding and bonding, that's Fast Trax Purple. If you want to do electrical theory, which is a learning system, then you want to go to the Fast Trax Yellow. Now, the Fast Trax Orange is our 2-year program that's going to cover 4 of our courses. And you get 6 months in each program for 2 full years. And that's a certification program as well. So that's just kind of like our previously, we called it the bundle. But now it's very specific to what the course intent is. And that is called the Orange. Okay, so again, all of this is slowly being updated on our website. And you'll see this stuff change. And so just stay patient with us as we try to get it. Because I like to be personally involved in all of this. So because of that, it does slow progress, because I could just let other people do stuff, but I can't. I had a question. Last week we were talking about laying the ground rod. How deep can we lay the ground rod if we can't drill it? We'll drive it. Well, so the code tells us that if you drive it, you're supposed to drive it straight down. If you hit rock, you can do it up to 45-degree angle, right? If that doesn't work, then you're allowed to lay it in a trench 2.5 feet deep. Now, if you have 2 ground rods and you have a trench, guess what? You still have to keep your ground rods at least 6 feet apart. So guess how long your trench would be? The length of your rods plus the 6 feet between the rods in order to lay them. You can only get there if you can't drive it. The code gives you that kind of hierarchy. So I have to drive it. If that doesn't work, I can go up to 45 degree. If that doesn't work, then I can lay it in a trench. And it gives you the parameters, again, 2.5 feet down, okay? And again, you're still gonna have your rod spacing, still got that requirement, but that's your option. No, you can't just take it and stick it in next to the building where they maybe haven't backfilled yet and then let them push the dirt in. Can't do that either, okay? So it's gotta be driven, or then attempted to drive it up to 45. If that doesn't work, then you get the permission to put it down in a trench. Okay, so hopefully that answered your question, O. And again, all that is covered. And guess what? In the Fast Trax Red Program. Absolutely. Covered in there and shows you everything you need to know about the grounding of a residential application like that. Okay, so if I've got no other questions in the program, about the program, I will cut you folks loose. I am not exactly how long I've been streaming today, but hopefully you got something out of that, a little better understanding of what the Red Program is all about. Again, later today, you'll see another notice come up where me and Jay are going to continue on. Hopefully today, we're going to continue on with our commentary with our internet electrician, and we'll see how that goes as well. So hopefully you guys will join us. Okay. So till next time, folks, stay safe. God bless. And everybody have an amazing Sunday. And we'll see you later on in that live stream. Hopefully you'll join us. Till next time, be safe. You've been listening to Electrify with your hosts, Paul Abernathy and Jay, the Basement King Grunberg.